Pre-movie SpongeBob is complete garbage. Now when I say this, I know for a fact there's a bunch of people who like it, but if you've watched every episode from seasons 4 through 8, and you also watched almost every episode before the first movie, then you would know just how bad SpongeBob used to be. Let's start with the very basics. SpongeBob was supposed to be cancelled after the first movie, which if you didn't know came after season 3. The creator, Steven Hillenburg, thought the show had its magic and the movie was supposed to be the complete end. Luckily, a new creator came in and basically saved everything. It wasn't just a new creator though, it was a bunch of new writers who changed the show for the better. Now there's so much terrible stuff to say about old SpongeBob, but I'm just gonna go into a few points so this video isn't extremely long. Old SpongeBob tries way too hard to be funny, and even worse, there's tons of adult jokes, which takes away from the quality of the show. Seasons 4 through 8 were perfect because they were for people of a younger age. Kids would laugh at all the stuff SpongeBob and Patrick said. Their parents would not be sitting next to them laughing because there weren't jokes aimed towards them, as it should be. Before the first movie, everything sucked. While I do admit season 3 is alright, it's nothing compared to the next 4.5. I feel like SpongeBob used to be some stupid crash grab show, one that seemed like it would go on forever because mindless kids would watch it and laugh. Kids back then grew up with old SpongeBob, laughed at the really dumb jokes, and basically that's what kept the show going. The show was more of a generic, trashy kids cartoon that's just like most other bad cartoons. Another terrible part of SpongeBob is something that I don't think any of you guys could go against. The show could go way too far, and if you don't know what I mean, then you're about to cringe real hard. There's an episode called The Great Snail Race, and it's known for making its viewers cringe, in a terrible way. Basically, the plot of this episode is that SpongeBob forces Gary to enter a snail racing competition, and he won't give Gary a snack. It sounds pretty dumb as a story, but when you see it in action, it's completely awful. The episode is filled with unnecessary, disgusting moments that shouldn't be in any cartoon. SpongeBob went way too far with this concept, and the fact that it's a full episode only proves my point that the old seasons are just terrible. There's another episode where SpongeBob went incredibly far, and it's considered one of the worst episodes of all time. It's called I'm Was Stupid, and it's about how SpongeBob helps Patrick when his parents are visiting. When SpongeBob is there, Patrick gets really mean, and it gets pretty dark. SpongeBob can't take it anymore, so he breaks through Patrick's wall and runs back to his house. And after all that, it turns out they weren't Patrick's real parents at all. So this episode just turned impersonation into a joke, and while that can work in some adult cartoons, it's never okay at a show like SpongeBob. These are only 2 instances where the show went too far, but there are a ton of others that are just really disgusting and pointless. Another reason SpongeBob sucked is because the show just didn't have heart. In the new seasons, you would laugh and care for the characters, and get intrigued by the storylines. But now, almost every character is completely different from before, in a good way. SpongeBob used to be really stupid and barely learned anything. Patrick acts even dumber, and it's not the funny kind. In the newer seasons, he was actually smart in some cases, but he was also the funny kind of dumb. He did hilarious things and everyone quotes what he said in those modern seasons. But back then, you could hardly even remember anything he said. What he said wasn't funny back then because of the writers deciding to make him bland and very stupid. If you're a defender of old SpongeBob, there's a lot of things to ask. I would assume you didn't grow up with the new seasons. Even if you'd lost interest in SpongeBob when they came out, you could still go back and watch them. If you enjoy pre-movie SpongeBob, I would assume you're pretty old. Also, I bet some of you guys are gonna storm in the comments and tell me that the oldest season is good because the original creator, Steven Hillenburg, was working on the show. Well, yeah, he worked on the show, but not in the way he was during seasons 4 through 9. While some of the older episodes are watchable, they are nothing above average. I've seen all the old ones and they really can't compare to anything we got after the first movie. There might be a bunch of you that disagree with me on this whole video, but that's okay. It just means you're old and can't handle change. Just comment below your reasoning as to why old SpongeBob is good. In my opinion, seasons 4 through 8 in the second movie were golden. Season 3 and some of season 2 was decent. Then everything before that was terrible, with only a few good episodes randomly appearing, such as Band Geeks and SB129. Overall, I don't think old SpongeBob was good in the slightest. It's a shame too. It would have gone down as one of the funniest cartoons if it began after the first movie, contrary to what Hillenburg intended. But that's all I have to say on the topic. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment below to let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.